Welcome home, YouTubers. This is Uncle Pythagoras residing in. I'm coming again with the same topic, the inverse function. Now we are going to see the practical example of the linear function where it is a one-to-one. Remember, a one-to-one is only found on the linear function, and the parabola is going to map a many to one, which is still also a function. But now we are dealing with the linear function. We are giving f at x equals to 3x minus 6. Now the question may come and ask you to determine the inverse of the f at x in the form of f, the inverse function of x equals to b. Hence, draw neat sketch graphs of both functions on the same set of the axes, the function of the inverse and this function. Then we come to C. C says draw the line of symmetry on the same set of the axes as the two graphs. Then the last one, D, they want us to determine the coordinates of the point of intersection of both graphs and then indicate this point on the graph. Now we are going to start working. Solution. The solutions, we start A. We have f at x is equals to 3x minus 6. We find the intercept. X-intercept, rather let's say intercepts. X-intercept you let your y to be equals to 0. Then you grab your f at x, which is y equals to 3x minus 6, right? When you see your y, you put a 0. 0 is equals to 3x minus 6. Then 3x is equals to 6. X is equals to 6 over 3, which is 2. Here we have the value of x, and then we find y-intercept. You let your x to be 0, then y is equals to 3x minus 6. Then your y, when you find your x is 0, your y is going to be minus 6 is the value of y. Now we come and draw this graph. You need to draw that graph. Before we can draw it, we start by finding the inverse of this linear function. Y is equals to 3x minus 6, which is a original. This was the original linear function. Now we need to find the inverse of this. Then By inverse, you interchange the values of x and y. Where you see y value, you put x, 3y minus 6. Now we want to find the what? The inverse. Therefore, three y is equals to x plus 6. Y is equals to x plus 6 over 3. Now, this is the form of f at the inverse function of x is equals to x plus 6 over 3. Now, they say determine the inverse function in the form of f at x equals to that. This is the inverse function. You have find your value of a. We are done with a. Now, we come and do b. Hence, draw the neat sketch graph of both functions. Both functions means this function of the linear and the inverse, its inverse. Let's find the inverse first. The inverse is x is equals to x plus 6 over 3. We equate these to y for our own simplicity sake. Then we are looking for the intercept. We start by x-intercept. We let y to be 0. Then where we find y, we equate it to 0, x plus 6 over 3. Then we find that x plus 6 is equals to 0. You cross multiply 3 here at 0. 3 multiplied by 0 is 0. Then you find that x is equals to minus 6. This is your x-intercept for the inverse function. This is going to be our inverse. They are going to indicate that this is inverse. This is our inverse. Now we find the value of x in the inverse. Let's find the value of y. Y-intercept. Let x to be equals to 0. Then you grab your inverse function, which is x plus 6 over 3. Where you see x, you put a 0. Which is 0 plus 6 over 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Then your y is equals to 2. Now we can draw these two graphs. Let's draw them. That is B. Draw the graph. You start your B here, you call it B, then you draw your graph. This is our Cartesian plane. This is y and x. Right. Let's sketch the graph of the original function f at x equals to 3x minus 6. We find that the value of a here of x is 2. Right. The x-intercept for the straight line graph, the original was x is 2, and y is minus 6. Y is minus 6. Let me take it. Let me take it a little bit down. Right, our y is minus 6, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6. There you go. Okay, our graph is going to touch here and come there. We don't have a t-square, we're just improvising just to illustrate what we need to do and what you need to know as a grade 12 going to sit for your examination. Now this is the graph of f at x is equals to 3x minus 6. Now that was B. B wants us to draw a mid sketch of both graphs. Now we come for this one. We started working here to find the x-intercept of this is minus 6. X is going to be minus 6. Let's just extrapolate our axis here. Here is our axis. Right. Here is our axis. Minus 1, minus 2. Let's try to reduce it. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6. Right? We say that x is minus 6 and y is 2. Y is 2. This is going to go, like this. Then this is the inverse function of f at x is equals to x plus 6 over 3. Now B says that hence draw a neat sketch of both graphs on the same set of axes. We are done with B. Then C says draw the line of symmetry on the same set of axes as the two graphs. We are going to draw the symmetry. This is our axis of symmetry. This is our axis of symmetry. The line of symmetry says y is equals to x. This is our C. This is point C. Then we come to point D. Point G says determine the coordinates of the point of intersection of both graphs and then indicate this point on the graph. In order for us to find the point of intersection here, at this point, the graph of x plus 6 over 3 is equal to the graph of 3x minus 6 at that point. At the point of intersection, the following applies. Y is common. That means if y is common, that means x plus 6 over 3 must be equals to 3x minus 6. Now we find the value of x first, then we cross multiply. We find that x plus 6 is equals to 3x minus 6 multiplied by 3. Then x plus 6 is equals to 3 times 3, it's 9x. 6 times 3, 18, minus 18. Then you take this all over that side, which is 0, is equals to 9x minus x is equals to 6. This is 6. We have left 6 here. You take 18, it was negative. If it comes this side, it's going to be plus 18. So you take this 18, it is negative, it comes this side to be positive. Your 6 remains this side is positive. Your 9 is this side is positive. Your x is positive this side. When it goes that side, it's going to be a negative. Then 9 minus 1 is 8x is equals to 18 plus 6. 24. Then you divide by 8. You divide by 8. You find that x equals to 3. Then you are going to substitute this 3 substitute x is equals to 3 in any of the equations. So we can take this one because this is a very simple one. You say y is equals to 3x minus 6. Where you see x, you put a 3. 3 times 3 minus 6, which is 9 minus 6, which is 3. Therefore, the point of intersection is such that x is to y, which is, your x is 3, is to y 3. The same must indicate that on the graph. So you say this is the point of intersection 3 is to 3. You are done. This grade 12 is the way of dealing with the inverse function. You will be given a function, then you find the inverse of that function. Then after finding the inverse of the function, then you start to solve the equation of the original, which is the linear function. You find that the values is x is 2, y is minus 6. You keep hold of those values, then you find the original function, then you invert it and change it into the inverse. You find that your inverse is 3x plus 6 divided by 3. Then you start working on it as well. You find the values of x, you find that x is minus 6 and y is 2. Then you plot them on the same set of axes. They give you something like this one. Then at that point, you find the line of symmetry. This is what we call the axis of symmetry. After finding the axis of symmetry, then you can find the point of intersection. The point of intersection, grade 12, you must make sure that they all somehow you cannot see them on the graph that they meet, but somehow they will meet. You use the what? You use the algebra to find the point of intersection. You equate the inverse to the original equation. You come out to find the value of x first. The value of x is 3. You substitute this 3 to any of the equations. You find that the y value is that. Then you plot it. They want to see it on the graph. This is all it is required of you. Now the next video we are going to go for the parabola. This is the one-to-one linear function. The one-to-one linear function is all that is required of you. Then we are coming for the what? For the parabola. We are coming for a parabola. This is example 2, that is it is going to be in that form. So we will start working on this one, and then we see what sort of questions are required for us to do what? To find the function, to draw the function, to find its inverse and draw it on the same set of axes, and to find the what? The line of symmetry, then find the point of intersection. That is all about the linear function, grade 12. I will see you in the next example, which is example 2, which is uploading right away. Thank you very much, grade 12. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Uncle Pythagoras signing out.